İyi günler. Ben Mimar Mustafa Şansal. Amerika'nın Dallas şehrinde, Texas eyaletinde land development dediğimiz özel arazi imar çalışmalarını yapıyoruz. Sizlere şu anda bu özel imar çalışmalarının yapımının hakkında genel bilgiyi registered profesyonel mühendis Naim Han takdim edecekler. Stop.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Naim Khan, and I hope you all are doing pretty well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Mustafa and myself, we work here at Winkleman and Associates. The type of work we do here, it calls land development or general civil engineering. From the name, you can get an idea what kind of work we do. Land development means we develop a land from its existing condition to a desired condition. That means the existing condition may be a farmland or a ranch or an agricultural land, and we transfer this from that land to desired land. The desired land means the way you want to change it, maybe for housing or retail store or maybe big mall, whatever it is. And general civil engineering means all branches of civil engineering are involved here, like transportation engineering, water resource and hydrology, then soil and foundation, then environmental engineering, and little bit of structural engineering. So I'll give you an example the way we do here the work. There is two steps. One is engineering and one is legal. That involves all the city permissions and all the permits from city and TxDOT. TxDOT means Texas Department of Transportation and others. But for today's presentation, because it's such a short period of time, I'll cover only the engineering part, and moreover, I'll cover only for the single family. Sometime later, I wish I'd be with you, and then I can explain you later on the others. Okay, what we'll do here, so this is a property. This is a property, say, just for an example, say this is an agricultural land. And this is one street here. So the client comes to us and say, okay, this is agricultural land and I want to make it a single family housing. So what we do first, we put the layout of his lot or plot or the however you want to tell. That means one person owns this property. We divide this property in maybe 100 slots or 50 lots, however the client wants. So first of all, what we do, we put a layout of all the lots. Layout means put the street and divided this one. And this is not a one single process. It goes by iteration, means trial and error until the clients like it. And this is the existing contours, which shows 570, 65 and 60. That means there's a little bit high here and it's going down. There is street to street and there is a creek behind this property. There's a very simple property. I'm just using this as an example. In my presentation, it's not a very formal presentation. It's like a informal style. And if you have any question, Mustafa is with you, so you can ask him and he can explain a little bit more if you don't understand anything. And first of all, what we do, I'll put a very easy, very simple layout. This is a street, so we put a street. Say we put a street here. something like that. It has 2-point exit, and then subdivide this like this. That means this is one person, one person, one person's, and one person's. This is his lot. This is, we divided this whole land 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's one property now, there's 13 property. So we need to design the street first, this one, because in the land development, the street is the backbone of the whole thing. So if you cut a cross section from here, the cross section will be like this. This is 70, this is 70, and this is going down. This is the existing ground line. So we designed this one in such a way. This is the existing ground line. We designed the street such a way that it will cut the existing ground and will put the dirt from a street to the pad. So the pad will be a little bit higher. The reason is, when I go for the drainage, and I'll explain a little bit more, we want all the water from the pad should go to the street, from the pad to go to the street, pad to go to the street, so that street will work as a channel or to convey the water eventually to either creek or some other existing storm line. The storm and sanitary is two different systems. Both pipes carry water, but one carries storm water, one carries sanitary water. So we profile such a way it called geometric design of this road. So I told you all the branches of civil engineering involved. There's a transportation part. We designed this. I'm explaining in very, very short time. So now from this street grade, proposed grade, we put our spot elevation here, here, here, here, here, here, here, here, everywhere. I'm sorry, here, here, here. Then from this street we put this spot elevation, or means the elevation from the proposed grade, and we do the lot grading.
Naim,
Yes.
what's the maximum grade we can design?
You're talking about the street?
Yes.
Okay, minimum slope of the street. Very good question Mustafa asked me. Here in Dallas, we use minimum 0.5% and maximum is 10%. But normally 10% is very steep, so we don't try to use 10%. Normally 2 to 3% slope we use. Because if it's too steep, then it's not very convenient for drivers to drive. If it's very little slope, then water will not drain. So we don't put more than that, and more than 10, less than 10, 0.5. So we after profiling, we go for lot grading. Mustafa will explain you in lot grading in details, because I don't want to go that far in a small. I'll explain the overall. Okay, let me tell you one thing. This is a lot, but nobody can build his house in the whole lot. There is a setback. It calls pad. Pad means there's the area of the lot that the people can build a house. Because they need a front setback, side setback, back setback. I told you before that I'm covering only single family residential house detached. That means this is not. There is other, maybe townhome, maybe multifamily. Multifamily means apartment or multi-story house, but I'm not going there today. I'm just giving you just one single family. So this is a pad. So we designed the elevation from the pad from the street grade, we know this elevation, this elevation, this elevation, this elevation. We design such a way that this guy's water will not go to this guy's water, this guy's water will not go to this guy, this person's water will not go to this person. We want to drain everything to the street.
You mean water is storm water?
Yeah, I'm talking about the storm water first. After 10-15 minutes storm water, then I'll go to the drinking water and the sanitary water. This is all what I'm talking about in the storm water, because we spend most of the time on the storm water. The reason we don't spend much time on the sanitary system and water system, I'll tell you, but that's the way all the storm water will go here, here, here, here. And then how this water will carry to the street. Because the street, if we cut a cross section of the street, I'm talking about concrete street or rigid pavement. That means that has curve. There is a two type of street. One is rigid and one is flexible. I'm talking about the rigid pavement. There's concrete street. That means if you do like that, it covers Mustafa on.
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is your pavement. Say this pavement is this. Sorry. This is your pavement, and this is your right of way. Mustafa will explain you what is right of way means here. This is your right of way, and this is your pavement. This is your pavement. That's the pavement. So water will come to the pavement and will carry within this area. Then, when the capacity of the street exceeds, we need to put inlet. Inlet means this is the little inlets we'll put. We'll put inlets, and we'll carry the pipe. Inlets will carry the pipe like this, and we can drain to the creek. So water will come from the house to the street, will be carried through the inlets, and there's a storm pipe which goes to the creek. And how to design the inlet and how to design the whole pipe, I'll give you very, very short information. I cannot explain it. It's very big and vast. So what will happen, there is a couple of ways to calculate the size of the inlet. Inlet can be 5 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot, 10 foot wide. The opening, the inlet looks like this. If you see from the, there's the inlet, there's the opening, there's a 6-inch opening, and this is your curve. So that's the street, and that's the water will go here. Mustafa can explain your details. What's the inlet? You can explain, Mustafa. Yeah, I think you have that, or you can show them the pictures.
Asfalt kenarında yapılmış olan açılmış olan boşluklar. Bizde ızgara yerine geçiyor.
Okay, good. So the water will go there and go to the inlets. The inlet is connected to the pipe. This pipe is running and goes the water here. How can you calculate the inlet size? A couple of ways. There's a nomograph. You can calculate from the slope of the street. Depends on the slope of the street. The size of the inlet depends on the slope of the street. If it's very steep slope, then very little water will go to the inlet. Most of the water will flow over the street. So one way you can calculate the inlet size is through the nomograph. Number two, you can use some equations. That is, if the slope of the street is this, then for per CFS of water, CFS means cubic feet per second water, you have to put that big size of the inlet. And for the pipe, we use the Manning's equation, which is one of the equation we use most is Manning's equation. I think you all know that Manning's equation, that is 1.486 NAR 2/3 S half. That is the Q. Q means the discharge. We use couple of softwares to calculate all of this, but all of the softwares depends on this equation. N is the Manning's coefficient, A is the area of the pipe, R is the hydraulic radius, and S is the slope of the pipe. We use for this one open channel, both for the pipe, and we also use for the pipe system and open channel for both. So with this equation, we calculate the size of the pipe, like how much Q is coming here. Say 5 CFS water is coming here, then 10 CFS is here, so 15 CFS is coming here. So now I'll go to the little bit on the pipe design. So what we'll do here, say this is this point, it calls head wall, that means at the exit point, and this is your pipe, that is your inlet, that is your, this inlet is somewhere else here. So from this inlet 5 CFS water is coming, here is 15 CFS. And the main thing in designing the pipe is backflow analysis. That is very, very important. There's a water from the creek will not come out through the inlet. That means the backflow analysis we have to do every time. The size of is most important is you do backflow analysis so that the water will not come out from the inlets. How we do that, I'll give you a very little bit idea, is a 100-year flood. What is the 100-year flood elevation? We know, say 550. So again, from the Manning's equation, if we know the Q, we know was the velocity, was the slope of the hydraulic grade line. So we start from the 100-year flood here, then we go from this length with this slope, we get this one hydraulics, and then there is a jump on the hydraulics because the velocity is more than here. So we put the hydraulic grade line from this point to this, then this, then this. But this hydraulic grade line cannot be, it cannot be more than, it should be 2 foot below the existing pavement. Otherwise, water will, existing top of curb. Otherwise, water will come out from the inlet and come to the street, and eventually it goes to the bed. Again, I'm telling, it's a very short time. I just give a little bit idea about that. Is there anything strong, Mustafa, I need to tell?
What's the maximum slope and minimum slope for pipe?
Okay, very good question. If it depends on the size of the pipe. If you have very big size pipe, the minimum size of the pipe we use here is 18-inch RCP. 18-inch RCP is reinforced concrete pipe, and maximum we use here in our office, or is a common practice, 66-inch RCP. Then we go to the box. Box means concrete box, big box. It can be 10 by 10, whatever the size. So more your size of the pipe, less slope you can go. Even you can go sometimes 0.02%, maybe 0.1%. You can go for 18-inch pipe, I will not use less than 0.5% slope. But if it's partial flow, only in that case, slope is a issue. But if you are a full flow condition, that means your pipe is under pressure. In that case, your slope doesn't matter because you are eventually on the full flow. When you are full flow, your velocity, you will not follow the Manning's equation. In that case, V equal to Q divided by A. That means discharge divided by area of the pipe. In that case, there is no slope term. So as long as you are in the partial flow, you have to think about the slope of the pipe because more slope, you can get the more discharge. But your full flow condition, your pipe, your slope doesn't matter.
What's the material we can use?
Okay. We can use different kind of materials. Like we can use RCP, reinforced concrete pipe. We can use PVC, which is polyvinyl, I think polyvinyl chloride or something, but PVC pipe, we can use that. We can use CMP, corrugated metal pipe, and we can use ductile iron. We can use different we can use different varieties, but the common practice is to use the reinforced concrete pipe. It's very, very common here. You can use varieties of stuff. So, yes.
Okay, are we going to talk about the sanitary?
Yeah, so if they, okay, they get a little bit idea about the paving, get a little bit idea about the storm. Do you think anything I should tell about the paving and...
I think that's enough for short time.
Oh yeah, that's enough for sure. Okay, good. Now, I'll go to the sanitary. Very interesting. When the city, say this city, they have already their master plan. So on their master plan, they know what they have the population calculation, that what will be the population after 20 years or something. That's the way they. I'm talking about now the sanitary. Then I'll go to the water. So they design their master plan. On the master plan, they have already sanitary here. The big pipes, this pipe may be 16 inch or whatever it is. It's very, very big pipe. This is done by the city, and when we connect our sewer line, if it's very little, like 10, 20, 30 houses, we don't need to calculate anything, because we know that this pipe has the capacity to carry this sanitary sewer, what will generate from here. But if we have a very big, and normally we use 8-inch PVC, sometimes we use 6-inch PVC for sanitary sewer, like if they're very little population. Okay, now we put the storm line here, we put the sanitary line, maybe, some city says within the pavement, some city says not within the pavement, between the pavement and the right of way. So whatever we put the sanitary, it comes like that and go like this, and eventually it connected with this, with the manhole. We have to put the manholes wherever the pipe change the direction. We put the manhole, or every 500 foot. Some cities say 500, some cities says 400 foot. We have to put the manholes. Okay, so that you put the pipe and you put the manholes. Whenever it changes the direction, you have to put the I think this is high point, so we can put like this. So this house will be connected here, and we put it here. So this sewer will go this direction, this sewer will go this direction. Okay, so I told you if it's very little area, then we don't need to calculate anything. We can use 8-inch PVC pipe and couple of manholes and connect with the existing sewer line. As I told you, this is already done by the city sewer line, so you can connect here directly. But if you don't have that, that means if the city doesn't have this line already, or your development is such a big development that in that case you cannot put 8-inch sewer line and connect here. You have to do some kind of calculation. The way we do the calculation is, I can show you, say per capita 100 gallons per day, 100 gallons per day per person. And the way we calculate that, each house has 3.5 people. So 100.3.5 per day, 100 gallons per day, GPD, and this person. Okay. Then we have some peak factors. Peak factors means certain period of the day there's a demand is very high. It depends on the city, depends on the culture, depends on the country. Some like if everybody goes the same time to the bathroom for taking shower or something else, certain time, in a very short time, there's a peak factor. So it depends the peak factor. Some again here some cities say 5. If the less population, you have to use 5 times peak factor. So this is your peak factor is 350 plus in multiplied by 5. Is correct, Mustafa? I don't know. Looks like that. Gallon per day. Okay? So this many gallon per day, 1715 gallon per day per house. And if you have 50 house, then multiply by 50 equal to 8,000 or whatever it is. Maybe say 100. You have 100 houses, so 75000. So 175,000 gallons per day. Then one more thing you have to add, that is infiltration, because your sewer line goes like this and you have manholes. You have manholes, and manholes are not watertight.
Is this calculation covers the grass and garden?
Oh, you're talking about the water from the garden?
Yes.
Watering to the garden?
Yes.
Okay. The water from the garden will not go to sanitary. This will go to the street. When this guy will put the water on his garden, this water will go to the street, and that street from the street will go to the inlet, and from the inlet will go to the pipe and go to the creek. But here, one water we miss is that if it rains and the inlet, all the manholes are not watertight. So when it rains, some water go through the manholes, and all the connection, the PVC connection, the pipe, like this pipe, and you connect here, then this pipe you connect here, the connections are not 100% watertight. So some water will go through that connection. So you have to add this plus infiltration. It depends how the city calculate that. If each and every city has like per acre this much or per mile this much, so you add this all, that is your total Q for this population. For not this, for this one, for 100 houses. Then again you use the Manning's equation, that what I told you already, 1.486 divided by n, AR 2/3 is half. You put that one, you get the size of the pipe. So that's the way you can calculate the size of the pipe in the sanitary sewer. Okay. Is there anything on sanitary sewer, Mustafa?
On centers, I think you mentioned all what
Okay.
I'm prepared for.
Yeah. If you have any question, you can ask Mustafa, he can answer. He does all these layouts and design. So put the manholes, and sometimes we put the clean out.
Yes.
Sometimes, normally we use PVC. Some cities say no. If you have a pipe very close to sanitary and storm, then sometimes city says you have to put some kind of encasement, concrete encasement. Sometimes we put the ductile iron pipe a little bit if you don't have enough cover. So I think that's all, right, Mustafa, on the sanitary?
Yeah. For storm, I would like to ask about the pond. Why we need pond?
Oh, okay, sure. So I'll stop here on the sanitary. Mustafa has a question on storm, is why we need the pond. There's a couple of reasons I'll say we need the pond. Say you have one existing say you have, well, okay, say this is a creek, say don't worry about this creek, say this is a creek, this is a creek, and this is a road. Think in this way, okay?
Mhm.
So you have already existing pipe here, okay?
Yes.
Now this is not no more creek, okay? Is a street now. That's the way I'm showing Mustafa. Okay, so this pipe is already built, and it has certain capacity. It cannot handle the all water you will generate to go there. So the easy way, whatever the water you are generating here, I'm talking about the storm water. I'm not talking about the sanitary water. Sanitary water is done. So whatever the storm water is generating here, this pipe doesn't have the capacity, so we have to detain the water here somewhere else. Detain the water means you will keep the water here. So you'll put the water here and release a smaller rate. You will detain the water there. You cut the pond like this, so it has certain volume. So you detain the water and then you release on a certain rate. And the way we calculate this one, it calls a modified rational method. Yeah, one thing I forgot to tell you, how we calculate the storm water is like rational method, which is Q equal to CIA, which is very everybody use this. C is the factor, depends on the soil type and vegetation. I is the rainfall intensity, and A is the area. So the way how much water is coming here, how we can calculate, we divide the area, small catchment area, that is this one, that give us the Q, peak Q, that is the water coming here. I forgot to tell, okay. Same thing, for how much water is coming to this inlet, we divide it, we draw small drainage area map. From there, we calculate how much water is coming to each inlet. So to answer your question on that pond, we detain the water to release in a small rate.
Yes.
Number one. And number two is, sometimes is an undeveloped condition, it has less surface flow because most of the water go down because C is very low, maybe 0.3 or 0.2 or 0.35. But when you build this one, C goes higher, it may be 0.6 or maybe 0.9, so you have more surface water. But sometimes city says, no, you cannot drain more water, you have to drain only the undeveloped flow. In that case, you have to build a pond too. Okay, now I'll cover how we design the drinking water. Again, this is a couple of ways. Number one, the city, they have already, in the master plan, they put already the drinking water line. Maybe big size pipe, 48 inch or couple of 60 inch or more than that. So they have already the drinking water line here, maybe here. If it's a small development, then we don't need to calculate anything. We just connect with this line and this line. But here, very important thing is, you have to put fire hydrant. You have to put fire hydrant. This is our pavement. You have to put this is your water line, comes here, go here, match here, meet here. So you have to put your fire hydrant. It depends again, 500 foot or 400 foot, every 500, 400 foot. Okay. So that in case of fire, they can open this one, the lid, and then they connect the connection, and then that used for the fire prevention. So, but if it's like a big development, again like a sanitary, then we have to think how to calculate this one. In this case, Mustafa, we use 100 gallons per day for the wastewater, or for drinking water we use 245 gallons per day. I'm talking about for one city. Some city may be different. And then same thing, 3.5% per house, and there is a peak. There is no peak factor. There is a maximum day demand and maximum hour demand. So maximum day demand is average multiplied by 2.5 times is the maximum day. That means on a certain day, certain period of the day is this maximum day, and you multiply by 2, which is maximum hour demand. Maximum hour demand. Maximum hour demand. And excuse me. And we will design the pipe with the maximum hour demand. And I can tell you there's a one city they have a couple of cities they have different kind of model, and you have to run the model. And when you run the model, you can run the model with the maximum hour demand, number one. Then you run the model such a way that the losses in the pipe is not more than I think 20 or something, 20 feet or something, 20 feet per. Just give me 1 second. I have I can. Okay, so some city, each and every city has their own criteria, but your pressure on the pipe, you should have enough pressure on the pipe so that the fire hydrant has enough pressure. If in case of fire, it can be used. So your pipe needs to be designed in such a way that your each and every node has enough pressure. Node means each and every connection we have enough pressure here, then you have enough, if you have line here, each and every node has enough pressure, and it's like I can tell in the computer, it's like you have to run the model and then see. And other than that, I think it's pretty simple. If you don't have to run the model, if it's small development, just connect 6-inch or 8-inch, normally 8-inch PVC, and connect to the existing water line, and you're good to go.
I always wonder, always we are designing water, sewer, and storm, but we didn't design natural gas. How does I know they have the natural gas? How they are connected?
Okay, very very interesting. There is two type of utilities. These are all utilities. Utility line. There's a wet utilities and dry utilities. Wet utilities are what is wet, like water, sewer, or the storm. And dry utilities are phone, then the gas, the electricity. We normally don't design those, but like but we don't design, that's correct, in our office. But the gas company, they have their own design engineer, and our general contractor, they cannot connect their pipe. They have their own contractor, they have their own design.
Well, is that means after contractor develop the site, then they are coming and dig the site and build?
What happened?
What's their process?
Okay, I'll tell you. What happened when they put all these utilities first, and in the same time they put some sleeves on the pavement. Some sleeves here, sleeves here, sleeves here. And I did not mention anything about the plat. Probably Mustafa can give you some idea about the plats. And during the process, when we design here, we send our drawing to the electric company, gas company, and even the cable company, phone company. We send to everybody our drawing, and they design in their in-house. And what they need from us the easements. You can explain easement in details. So when we are done, still they have the easement to put their line. So they put in the meantime, but is like a both process. We are doing our part. In the meantime, they come, they have all that easement, so we know where they're going to put their pipe, where they're going to put the transformer for the electric line, or the cables, everything they put.
How about, are they running under the pavement, or They are,
No.
They are
No, normally they don't run under the pavement.
okay.
That's the reason there's the right of way. The right of way means this is the area. At the beginning, I'll tell you one thing, that this development is private development, but one time city will accept this one, and city will maintain for the paving, water and sewer. There's a public property. So the right of way means, although the pavement is here, but this is the whole area that will be public. This will never be public. This will never be public because this is this guy's property. But this right of way is cities, and all the dry utilities will go here.
I
Yeah.
understand.
So they will put that after. That's the reason when we design, we don't put sidewalk. Builder put the sidewalk. Because if we put the sidewalk, and if those franchise guys come, they need to tear off the sidewalk. So developer don't put the sidewalk in front of the house. The builder did put the sidewalk.
Thank you, Naim.
That's all?
That's all for
Okay.
short time. Thank
Yeah.
you. It was
Yeah.
very good presentation.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
And
Naim.
I want to thank Dr. Borat, who came here, and unfortunately I could not meet him, but inshallah I'll try to meet him next time. And I want to give him real thanks from me, and thank you Mustafa to give me the opportunity to talk to all of you. And Allah Hafiz.
Şu anda Oak Creek Trail'in genel vaziyet planını görüyoruz. Bu vaziyet planında latların durumu ve bütün petlerin şu anda bizim şu anda petlerini yani zemin bina temellerini görüyoruz. Buradan sizlere bir yol dizaynı hakkında genel bilgi vereceğiz. Burada öncelikle ele almak istediğimiz konu şu. Arazinin önemli yol hatları var. Kesilmemesi gereken yol hatları. Yani buradan araç seyir halindeyken herhangi bir aracın onu kesmemesi lazım. Çünkü bu 80 feet right away'lik bir yol, şehir yolu, ana yol. Bunu takip eden diğer yolları tayin ediyoruz. İkinci öncelikli yolumuz ise burada gördüğümüz yol. İkinci öncelikli olarak bu yolu dizayn ediyoruz. Akabinde ona bağlanan tali yollar. Şurada gördüğümüz yolda ikinci öncelikteki yollarımızdan biri. Planlarda öncelikle plan dizaynından başlıyoruz. Daha sonra profil dizaynına geçiyoruz. Plan dizaynına girdiğimiz esnada ana yolların ilk dizaynından itibaren bulduğumuz yükseltiler esas alınıyor ve buna bağlı olarak da köşe noktalardan bu yolları birbirine bağlıyoruz. Bu hatta geçtiğimiz zaman bizim genel dizaynımız model space'te yani ana bellekte genel hatlarıyla görüyoruz. Storm design'de yani yağmur suyu dizaynında yine önce olarak planlardan başlıyoruz. Plan dizaynı. Burada mevcut yerleştirdiğimiz inletlerin kola hatları yani vaziyetleriyle hakkında bilgileri veriyoruz. Yolla bağlantısı, derinliği. Bunun akabinde profile geçiyoruz. Profile geçtiğimiz zaman burada bir yine Model Space'e geliyoruz. Model Space yaptığımız dizaynın biz bilgisayarımız database'inde bilgiler var. Bu bilgileri burada değiştirmemiz mümkün oluyor. Son dizaynla başladığımızda öncelikle mevcut arazinin yapısını dizayn ediyoruz. Profil ediyoruz. Onun akabinde proposed yani öngörülmüş olan araziyi profil kesitini tablomuza çiziyoruz. Bunlar geldikten sonra biraz önce Naim Bey'in de bahsettiği üzere borularımızı dizayn ediyoruz. Model Space yaptığımız bu çalışmanın akabinde Paper Space'e geçerek callout'larını yerleştiriyoruz ve bütün dizayn çalışması tamamlanmış oluyor. PISU kanalizasyon hattının dizaynını yaparken öncelikle Model Space'te yine bütün araziye yerleştirmiş oluyoruz. Belediyenin istediği doğrultudaki işte ne bileyim centerline'dan 10 feet sağda, solda veya centerline üzerinde dizaynları yapıldıktan sonra Paper Space'te bütün bir sayfa dizaynına geçecek şekilde sayfamızı bölüyoruz. Böldüğümüz sayfada daha sonra callout dediğimiz yani manhole'ün durumunu tanımlayan borunun nereden başlayıp nereden bittiğini belirleyen notlarımızı alıyoruz. Yani işte M hattı, B hattı gibi. Bu hatlarda bizim öncelikle buradaki rim elevation dediğimiz manhole'ün en üst noktasının durumu ve bu noktaya bağlanan yolla ilgili koordinatları bu callout'larda belirleniyor. Bu callout'lara göre, bu hazırlanmış planlara göre de profilleri dizayn edeceğiz. Böylelikle bir profili daha önceden planlarını hazırlamış olduğumuz profili ele aldığımızda işte başlıyoruz. Genelde proje downstream yani alt akış noktasından yukarıya doğru planlıyoruz. Bu planlama esnasında daha önceden getirdiğimiz callout'ları profile işliyoruz. Biraz önce storm hattında yaptığımız gibi dizaynında olduğu gibi PISU dizaynında da aynı şekilde Model Space'te öncelikle mevcut arazi yapısı, daha sonra öngörülen yol kesitleri ve arazi kesitleri, bunun akabinde de buna uygun olarak 9 feet aşağıda maksimum 13 feet, ortalama 9 feet, minimum 4,5 feet olarak alıyoruz. Çünkü bunun eve servisi yapılabilmesi için o 4,5 feet'in altında olursa daha az olursa kesişmeler başlıyor ve problemler, yani daha doğrusu pis su ev için problemler yaratmaya başlıyor. Genelde center profilimiz ilk önce yapılan profil çalışmalardır. Yani yol dizaynının akabinde pis su hatlarının dizaynı, çünkü en altta pis su hatları, ondan sonra bu hatlara uygun olarak da bu hatların profillerini alarak da storm dizayn, yani yağmur hatlarının dizaynı yapılıyor. Burada da belediyenin bizden genelde istediği yağmur hatlarını mutlaka olarak gölgeleme metoduyla gösterin derler ve burada biz orada işte kesiştiği yerlerle ilgili cross section'ları veriyoruz. Burada gördüğünüz gibi mutlaka bir yani Fort Worth Belediyesi'nin istediği bir şey var. Kil ile yağmur suyunun şeylere veya yeraltı sularının manhollere dolmaması istedikleri. Bu da beton koruganlar yapıyorlar şey için. Boruların kırılmaması için. Sulama temiz su hatlarının dizaynında genelde 8 inçe kadar herhangi bir profil istenmiyor. Sadece plan çalışmaları yeterli oluyor. Bu çalışmalarda öncelikle yine Model Space'te hazırlamış olduğumuz planlamanın daha sonra bunlara belli özellikler kazandırılıyor bilgisayarın özelliğine göre. Akabinde de buradan biz herhangi bir şekilde Model Space'e geçip buradaki yol hattının merkez çizgisine göre uzaklığını bulabiliyoruz. Burada da Paper Space'e geçtiğimizde de bunu düzgün olarak yazıyoruz. ...12 inç waterların, yani 12 inç kalınlığında temiz su hatlarının plan ve profilleri beraber yürütülüyor. Burada herhangi bir basınç altında çalıştığı için herhangi bir minimum maksimum eğim konusu söz konusu değil. Burada önemli olan ortalama 5 foot öngörülmüş olan zeminin altında olması, planlanması ve diğer işte storm gibi, pis su gibi su hatlarıyla, boru hatlarıyla çakışmaması. Bütün burada planlamanın esası bu.
Let me tell you how we calculate the size of the inlet. There's a couple of ways to calculate the size of the inlet. The easiest way, but is very important, where the inlet is located. If the inlet is located in the sag, that means it has very large capacity. But if the inlet is located in the street, which is a very steep slope, I'm talking about the street slope. If the street slope is very high, the inlet has very less capacity. So the location of the inlet is very important. I can show you if the street grade and the length of the opening per CFS, that means feet cube per second, or in gutter flow, feet cube per second, I think in metric system it can be meter cube per second or something. So street grade, if it's in the sag, then your inlet size is 0.6 feet per feet of the CFS. So that means if the street is in the sag and if you have 10 CFS water to the inlet, the size of the inlet, that means the opening of the inlet will be 6 feet. Same thing, if the street has the capacity less than 2%, then If you have 10 CFS water, then you need the opening 12 feet because 1.2 feet. If your slope is 2 to 4%, then if you have 10 CFS water, then your size of the inlet needs to be 15 foot. If your slope is greater than 4% of the street, then if you have 10 CFS water, then you need the opening 18 feet. Okay, that's a one way. Sometimes you can use this nomograph. This is different city. It depends on what kind of a street is this. Say 4-inch parabolic crown street, 26 feet back to back. That means the pavement width is 25 foot pavement width, and the pavement, the top is like a 4-inch crown. So in that case, if you have 6 CFS water, say 6 CFS water, and your slope of the street is say 3%. So this is the 3%, this 6, that will give you 10, 11, 12 foot opening inlet. Then what you can do, you can go here, if you put 15 foot inlet, because some cities say no, you can use only 5, 10 and 15 foot inlet. Some cities say no, you can use 10, 12, 14, 16. So whatever the city's criteria, if you need to put 15 foot, then you go to 15 foot and go to that 3%, the slope. That means the inlet capacity is more than 6. That's the way you can do that. If the inlet is on grade. But if the inlet is in the sag, so in the low point, then there's a lot of different kind of nomograph you need to use to calculate the size of the inlet. If you have like 15 CFS of water, and if you have ponding depth, that means how much water you allow in the street. So if you say you want 0.5 foot, means 6-inch carb of the street is 6 inch. So if you use 15 CFS water and you want to go to ponding depth is 0.5 feet, then you need the size is 8 feet. There's an 8 feet opening inlet that can carry 15 CFS water, which allow 0.5 feet, that means 6-inch carb height. So there's other way, but there's a two easiest way to calculate the inlet.
Thank you, Nay.
You're welcome.